Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Safety Systems, security systems for your home or office, life safety systems like fire alarms, nurse call systems, they do those, home automation, and the best audiovisual setups in all of East Tennessee. That's what Safety Systems does. That's what they've been doing for 20 plus years. Give VFL JJ Surlis, a teammate of Mike Stowell and Sterling Henton, give him a call and his team at Safety Systems this week to learn more, or visit them online, safetysystems.com. Take a look at these numbers very quickly. Fast start, slow finish. Through 5 SEC games this year, Tennessee has jumped on their opponents and outscored them 51-23 combined in the first quarters of those 5 SEC games. But in the second, third, and fourth quarters, they've been outscored 79-100. Now, they are 3-2 in the SEC, so not terrible, obviously, but that's a pretty big flip, and they need to get that turned around. What does that tell us, though? That they jump on people early, and then the rest of the way it's a dogfight. Let's go over to Sterling Henton, Mike Stowell, and we'll start with Will Overstreet. What's the deal?
I'd say from my perspective, I think the first thing out of the gate is you've got a coaching staff that really knows how to scheme somebody else up. I think they can break down tape. I think they can put stuff together. They look at it, and they design a heck of a 20-play script. That first couple of drives, they've got it knocked down. And I think they implement that with the team. I think the team understands it's coming into that game very, very well. From there, they go off script, and that's obviously where they cause some issues. My one concern is I think this team would be better coming out of half at times than it is. I'm not sure where that is because I would think they would make those same type of adjustments. But definitely, I think it's just a compliment to the coaching staff for that first couple of drives coming off the gate. What about you, Sterling?
Oh, I love the way they scheme the first, where they come out blazing. I love that stuff, and that gets the offense flowing. I also like the way that, the chess game you guys talked about earlier in the show that Coach Mack is playing with the running backs, how he's using all 3 of those guys in proper positioning the way and get most production out of them. And he's got more to do. I know he's thinking about other things. So when it comes to the beginning of the game and we're able to score like that, I like it. I like the fact that we're 6-2. You know what I'm saying? We're winning.
I tend to like it, but what happens after in the second and third and the fourth? I think is the big question. Well, is there something we can do differently there?
There's always something you can do in the course of a game. You know that, but so I'm certain the coaching staff is going to figure something out.
So the way I see it, you've got such a large amount of plays to call upon when you're Tennessee's offense. There's so many different schemes. That's why they come out and they do so well. They have all the different formations, all the different things that they can go out and be successful on. So they're on script, so they know what they're running, and they practice that. Then the defense sees those a couple of times, and they make adjustments. And I think so where I want to see Tennessee make the next step is I want to see them, okay, we've scripted, they've adjusted, okay, here's what we're going to do for their adjustments. So I'm not comfortable, I'm not satisfied with how they're seeing the adjustments that they make to stop those and think, okay, I'm playing one step ahead of you, so you're making these adjustments. So when they make those adjustments, this is going to work for us. It's just for some reason it's not clicking of, okay, well, they're going to pull this kind of coverage in. That means if they do that, these plays, these 3 or 4 plays are going to be successful. And I don't think they're making those adjustments. I think that's why things have slowed down. They kind of keep going to it, okay, well, they've adjusted to it. What do you think we should do? And it's not so much, okay, this is what we do next.
Do you think it's the coaching staff or that's a player thing in the sense of, maybe the coach knows what I want you to do, and I know the adjustment, but for whatever reason we haven't practiced it for 5 days, for the previous 4 days, and so I'm not getting it from the team. What do you think there? Is it the coaching making the change or the player not being able to execute?
Well, it all has to fall back to the coach because even if you want your players to make those adjustments and you tell them, they still got to be able to communicate to the players during the week, hey, they're going to make this adjustment, so here's the adjustment we make. We did that all the time. We would script it. Here's the adjustments they make, and then once you know that, they would tell you, okay, here's what we'll do next when they make that adjustment. And so they've got to be able to take that next step of teaching the players. Players obviously have to go out and execute, but I don't know if they're actually maybe developing them enough to where they're thinking 3 or 4 or 5 steps ahead.
Right. Well, John, definitely compliment to the coaches on how they enter the game, but there's definitely some improvement work of can this coaching staff take the next progression of can they make those adjustments during the game.
All right, very good, guys. I wonder sometimes, Did we underestimate the talent loss that they went through from last year? I will say yes, I did. After watching it early and looking at his numbers through his career, my thought was Heupel can plug anybody in there. I didn't take into account, you had a first-round tackle, you had a quarterback who was perfect for the offense, you had two tremendous receivers in Tillman and Hyatt there. Fant was awfully valuable in a lot of different ways. That's just the offense. So I wonder if, as a coach, you are able to scheme it early, but then once the other team figures out, all right, this is what they're doing, you don't have the talent you did last year to keep that train rolling quarter after quarter. Just a thought. When we come back, the whole gang will be out here to play a little bit of Will They or Won't They for UConn. We still got the picks coming up and much, much more. Come on back on the Sports Source.